The heart of good bluegrass picking is in the right hand. This is the real drive behind this sound. And to get really comfortable with that, we need to learn how to get our fingers in control. I like to use something called the basic rhythm. This is example 7 on page 41. The basic rhythm is basically quarter notes. The thumb will play the 3rd string, then the thumb will go all the way to the top, the 5th string. The index will be down on the 2nd string, B, and the middle finger will be down on the 1st string, D. You want to place those fingers on those 3 strings at the same time, like this. Also notice that my thumb is not back here. Try to keep your thumb in front of your fingers. That way, as the thumb goes down and the fingers come up, they will miss each other like this, you see. The finger picks always come inwards toward the palm of the hand, and the thumb always goes down. We never pick up with the thumb or pick out with the index and middle fingers. So here's how the basic rhythm works. You play the 3rd string with the thumb, then you pinch, which is the 1st string, the 2nd string, and the 5th string at the same time. Now it's not like this. That's not a pinch. I don't know what you'd call that. It's a pinch simultaneously. Can you do that? Hope so. Make sure your thumb is in front of your index and you don't have it down there. Keep it up. Keep your wrist arched out too. Don't let your wrist get flat. Keep it out. Are your fingers, your 3rd and your 4th, resting down the banjo top? Usually right in front of the bridge there. You don't want to do that when you pinch. Try not to have your hand fly off. Keep everything solid down there. 3rd string with the thumb, then pinch. See how solid that was? Not this, but this. Now, one full measure of the pinch, or basic rhythm actually, would be this. It'd be thumb on 3rd string, then pinch, and then thumb on 3rd string again, and then pinch. Now we could do that a few times. That would be one full measure. Let's see if we can do 4 measures of that. Here's thumb, pinch, thumb. That's 1 measure. There's 2 measures. 3 measures. 4 measures. And at the end of example 7, you got the 2 lines of the double dot. That's your repeat sign. Let's do it again. Repeat it. Example 7. You ready? Here we go. 1 measure. 2 measures. 3 measures. 4 measures. Well, what do you know? We did that without a mistake. Well, I did at least. I didn't make any mistakes on that. If you make mistakes, try to keep going. This might be a good time to talk about mistakes. Anytime you're playing your banjo and you do make a mistake, let's say you hit your thumb twice on the note and you forgot to pinch. The only time your audience or your listeners are going to know you made that mistake is if you say, oops, or if you make a face. You're like, I goofed it again. That's the only time they're going to know. Or if you break the banjo neck over your knee, they might know that you made a mistake. Learn to flow with the music. Try to keep it going. If you make a mistake, you just keep going. When you drive your car, sometimes if you're not paying attention, you kind of go to the right or the left a little bit, and they have, sometimes on the road, they have these little bumps to let you know that you're over too far. Well, if you do that, what do you normally do? Well, you just get back into the line of traffic. You don't back up and re-drive that whole section that you got out of line. That's ridiculous. Nobody would do that. The same thing goes with your banjo picking. When you're playing a solo, keep it going, keep flowing with it. Good musicianship, I should say showmanship, is when you can play a song and a passage that's easy and make it look hard. And a passage that's hard, make it look easy. People like Roy Clark used to do that all the time. He used to play something really, really hard and just smile and at the audience, and other times something that was real simple, he'd make a face. Showmanship. Good showmanship means you don't let people know that you made a mistake. Now, let's take a look at example number 8. We're going to keep this basic rhythm going, but we're going to change something on the left hand. We're going to add a new chord. This is the D7 chord. Let's take a look at that. To form a D7 chord, the easy one to start with, you'll need to use your index finger and place it at the first fret, very close to first fret on second string. And then you want to take your second finger and place it on the third string at second fret. You're going to leave the fourth string open, and you're going to leave the first string open. That's a D7. Now you take your fingers off. What chord was that with no fingers? That's a G chord. Then D7, G, D7, G. One other chord we're going to need is the C chord. You're going to put your first finger at the first fret, second string, just like you did on the D. Then you're going to take your second finger and put it over on the fourth string, second fret. Then put your third finger on the first string, second fret. Now, that's a little more complicated because you have 3 fingers there. Make sure you have your thumb around the neck. Keep your wrist down. Don't have your wrist up like this. You're going to get a clunky sound because your fingers are touching other strings or you're not pressing down firmly. Keep the fingers on their tips like this. So I keep my fingers on the tips. Keep your thumb behind the neck, and you got a good C chord. So G, D7, and C. Might be a little tough for you when you're first starting out with your chords, but you will get used to that. It's just a matter of time before your left hand feels comfortable with the strings, the frets, and all of it works together. You'll develop a feel in your hand, and you won't have to look each time where you're putting your fingers. You'll just go G, D7, C, G, and you don't have to look at it. You'll just as easy as drinking a glass of water, if that's easy. Now let's take a look at example 9. We're going to keep the basic rhythm, but we're going to change the chords to it this time. We'll do 2 measures of G, we'll do 2 measures of D7, and then we'll do 2 measures of C, and then back to G, with a repeat. Let's try it together. 1, 2, 3, G chord, D7, C, back to G. Let's repeat it. G, D7, C, and G. Keep it steady when you're playing. Always make sure your right hand is right there like that. Not slow and then faster. It's got to be really even. Practice along a few times on the video recording with me. You've got the tablature and all, and your book, and then try to play along with the audio recording that came with your book. This is very helpful. You'll have a full band eventually that you'll be practicing against. This will train your ear to play along with a fictitious band. It's like a virtual band on the CD. If you can keep up with the recordings on the CDs, you can play with real people, because real people are more forgiving than that disc. The audio portion stays. If you get lost, it's just going to keep right on going. So if you can play with the disc or the audio recordings, you're on your way to being a great bluegrass banjo player.